In the meantime, former Biden Deputy Chief of Staff Bruce Reed delivering a marathon interview to House investigators yesterday. Reed is the 9th witness to testify in the Oversight Committee's probe into whether or not the former president was in decline mentally. Sources tell us Reed defended his mental acuity and blamed his poor performance on his stutter. I want to bring in Josh Holmes, co-host of the Ruthless Podcast. Good to have you on board today, Josh. And the recent alliance here as well, so we'll get to that another day. This is what a source said, okay, according to what we have. Reed claimed in his transcribed interview that Joe Biden's debate performance was the result of his stutter. He believes that Americans should not have had any concerns about the president's mental faculties. I'll have you answer that and look at the 5 remaining aides who are expected to testify before that committee. Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, first off, Bill, let me just commend you for your reporting in Gaza and Israel. It's absolutely a perfect example of what is only done on Fox News. Incredible journalism the way it was supposed to be. On to the Biden mental acuity investigation. It continues to amaze me the lengths to which the inner circle of the Biden administration is trying to protect the former president from what is so obvious to basically every American. They act as though that there's not 50 years of tape of watching the precipitous decline, particularly in the last 12, 24 months, of Joe Biden. This is not a stutter. He had a stutter his entire life. Certainly wouldn't have affected him in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s and 2010s, but it certainly had a grave impact, apparently, during the course of this debate. They continue to deceive. Listen, I think that they're going to go right to the end and sink with this ship on it, but the investigation is important, nevertheless.
Okay, so we'll see where that goes. In the meantime, the city where you work and live is Washington, D.C. The president had some harsh things to say about the state of affairs in Washington. Here he is on Truth Social when he said the following: crime in Washington, D.C., he writes, is totally out of control. If D.C. doesn't get its act together and quickly, we will have no choice but to take federal control of the city. So here's what he's talking about. The D.C. homicide rate in 2023 was about 41 per 100,000 residents, which ranked the 4th in the nation. That was for 2023, and they came back and looked at the numbers again in 2024, and they were 4th again. And Jeanine Pirro is on the job. She's a U.S. attorney. She's new to the job, but it's not like she doesn't have experience in her former life in Westchester County, New York. And she has an interesting definition for her role because it serves at a federal level and a local level. Is there something that could be at work there, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, look, and thank goodness that Jeanine Pirro is on the job, and she does have a very large role. But there's also this issue of control. And what progressive left are trying to do with District of Columbia is basically eliminate the constitutional mandated federal territory that was laid out and was controlled by Congress, and it effectively became run by a mayor and a city council that wanted to decriminalize crime. And that's where we sit. This has been an absolute mess for a very, very long time. President Trump's reaction comes as a result, I think, of the attack on Big Balls. Apologies to the morning viewers. I didn't come up with the nickname. It was the infamous Doge staffer. But this happened, and it is a perfect example of what has happened now for years in the District of Columbia that is preventable. And I think, from my standpoint, I don't say it lightly, I think federalizing, refederalizing, as the Constitution actually intended, is a good idea to do here.
Well, if it makes life better for you and the folks who live there, then we'll follow it, and so be it. Thank you, Josh. Nice to see you. Thank you for your kind words. Our coverage will continue throughout the week here. Thank you. Nice to have you on.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.